What's up guys, it's Mike with Navigation Nowhere, and in a previous video we built out an FJ Cruiser, and if you haven't seen that build video you can check it out right here. But Luke's actually been living out on the road for the past few months, and now it's finally time to reveal the final tour. Hope you guys enjoy.
How's it going guys? My name's Luke. This is my 2010 Toyota FJ Cruiser. I've recently converted it into my off-grid home, and we're gonna give you a tour, so let's check it out. So I bought my FJ in January of 2019, and it's been a great rig. This thing's taken me to 46 states out of the 50 so far. Hoping that when this all clears up that I can head to Alaska, and that's kind of the big adventure that I've always wanted to take this on. Before I had this new, we'll call it Mach 2 of the build. The original build out was pretty simple. It wasn't, instead of the raised platform, it simply had two drawers here, a simple slide out table, nothing too crazy, and it was just a simple $150 garage build just to kind of get on the road and get some clutter out of the way so that I could have somewhere to sleep, storage beneath me and whatnot. As the years went on, I developed some more skills and decided that it was time for a rebuild of my own rig, and here's what we came up with. All right, so let's check out the back here. This is kind of in a way, it's the center of the whole build. This is the space I use most often, besides sleeping, obviously. This is where I'm gonna have my miscellaneous tools and miscellaneous gear, my pantry, my cooler, and my pull-out stove here. So we'll start here with the kitchen. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. In the original build, I only had a single burner propane stove, no refrigeration of any kind, and just ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly. So first drawer here, we got our pull-out stove. It's a 36-inch slide. Comes with our double burner Coleman stove. A second slide out reveals your cutting board. This and this as well are both food safe surfaces. This false top here pops right off, and this is where I'm going to keep all my dishes, my extra propane, utensils, and that miscellaneous stuff. But yeah, like I said, this is a huge upgrade for me. We're going to be eating a lot better on this go around, and I'm pretty excited for that. Latch it up. Up top here, we got a 9-inch deep pantry. Right now I don't have any food in there. It's going to be, once I fill it up, I'm headed out on a trip pretty soon, and that thing will be loaded to the top with all my dry goods. Any sort of cold goods or anything else will be kept up here in my Yeti, and overall it's a lot more food storage than I used to have, and it's going to create a lot better diet that I could definitely look forward to. The last drawer in the back here, this is going to be my miscellaneous, I call it my toolbox, my anything else besides food and clothes drawer, and it holds everything from a strap line to an inflatable sleeping pad, some cleaning supplies, some toe straps, an extra jack, bug candle, lights, straps, whatever else you need. Yeah, it's a perfect size space for all the miscellaneous stuff that I'd rather not just throw at the footwells or whatever. Back here, this is where, perfect spot. This was unintentional, but it worked out perfectly. If I can slide them out here. These are our Jackery solar panels, which will go with our Jackery 1000 up front here. These solar panels are great. You set them up in the sun, and they can charge, one of them can charge a Jackery in 17 hours, and I want two and 8, I believe. And they're awesome. They're super stealth. You set them up at camp. What's great is they come with stands, so they can stand up on their own and whatnot. And what's really cool is you don't even really need the Jackery unit itself. You can hook this thing up straight up to your phone. It's got a USB charger in it where you can set this up in the sun, plug your phone right in, and get a charge going. So that's pretty great. Yeah, this is my new, like I said before, the last rig didn't have any refrigeration, and that was, eventually that did get old. Only so many dry goods you could eat until you're craving something cold, ice water, fruit, whatever it is, something that a simple Yeti would be great for. I did look into the 12-volt refrigerators, but I work on boats and I spend a lot of time on the water, and that's what Yetis are great for as well. So I figured, why not get a unit that I can take with me everywhere? So if I go on a boat trip, slap a boat sticker on there, go on a car trip, slap a car sticker on there, whatever it is, this thing will come with me everywhere, and these things last a lifetime. So I went with this instead of the 12-volt, and so far so good. So I'm pretty happy I made that decision. All right guys, so let's check out the passenger side and explore the bed area. So what's great about the suicide doors on the FJ, something that Jeeps don't have, just joking, but it's great because it really opens up the space. It allows you access to storage in a lot of ways, and yeah, just a great feature of the FJ. So once I removed the stock seats that were in here, opened up a lot of space, both obviously horizontal and up here, but also down here as well. It revealed a lot of little crevices that wouldn't have been there if you left the stock seats in, and it gives me area to hide my boots, to tuck things, to tuck tools on down in under here, and when you're in a small space like this, any little crevice counts. And that was just a great little area I was able to utilize. Down here in the footwell area, I have a camping table, a camping chair. I think a lot of people would agree upon is a floor mat, like a doormat, just a simple doormat. An exterior doormat is a crucial piece when you're living in a rig, whether it's a bus, a van, a FJ, whether you're living in the city or living in the woods. Nobody likes a dirty bed, so what I always like to do is when I get to a campsite, I set this up, allows you to clean your boots off, clean your shoes off, and just keep the dirt out of the rig, because when you live in a tiny structure, it gets dirty real quick. So why not just leave the dirt outside and just save yourself the trouble. Yeah, so real quick guys, I'll show you guys how the bed works. Right now it's tucked away into travel mode. The platform itself is about 4.5, 5 feet. And what we did is added I believe it ended up being a 16-inch pull out when it pulls out all the way. And what that allows is the bed to fold over and extend to 6 feet, which allows me to fit way more comfortably. And for an FJ Cruiser, I don't think the bed could get any more comfortable. And yeah, pretty happy with that, how that came out. This handle here, as it works as a pull out, it also works because we have a piano hinge in back on the platform here, which allows this to lift up for clothing storage. And what I'm glad about where the clothes ended up, because in the previous build, everything was beneath me. I didn't have any vertical space. I didn't have anywhere to put things while I was sleeping. It was my backpack, and it was just overly cluttered, which over time gets old. And what this allowed me to do is kind of prioritize which things I need above the bed, which things I need below the bed. So when I'm in the rig, it's just ease of access. You can only wear one pair of clothes at a time. So I'm able to pull the clothes out, set them on the driver's seat, set them on the bed, set them in the closet, whatever it is. Clothing is one of the most bulky things you have. It takes up the most space out of anything in the rig. And so I put it beneath the bed, but it's still in an easy to access position. And it works out pretty well. That folds down nice. And it allows for the passenger seat to still slide back into position, and for a passenger to ride comfortably. So I'm 21 years old. October this year will mark 2 years since I've been living more or less nomadically. I went to college my freshman year. I went to the University of Miami in Florida, and one gap year turned into 2 gap years, which is now turned into what I like to call a permanent gap year. I just found that for me in life, the things I wanted out of life, the traditional education system wasn't necessarily working for me. Not to say it doesn't work for anyone else, but me personally, my needs were more, I felt like I just needed to see the world. I needed to get out there. I needed to meet people from all walks of life. And I started out in a school bus. Actually, Mike inspired me. I remember sitting in British literature or some literature class back in high school, and I came across Navi on Instagram, and I just knew it. By then I was thinking about the van life. I saw the extreme benefits you can get and the lifestyle, and it just looked like a dream. And it's been a pipe dream for years. And then eventually the opportunity came around where me and a couple of my buddies ended up doing a bus. Traveled around on that for a bit. They moved out to California. I bought the FJ and been traveling ever since. And I wouldn't give it up for the world. I've met people that have easily become lifelong friends. I've learned life lessons. I've learned so much, and it's hard to even wrap my head around it. Everyone keeps telling me it's something that, being only 21 years old, I physically can't wrap my head around it. It'll take years to do so, and I'm definitely looking forward to that, where things that I've learned and experienced in the past couple years living nomadically and traveling, that 40 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever it is, tomorrow, whatever it is, these lessons will hit me and stick with me for life. And just got to say, if anyone has the dream to go and live a travel lifestyle, you can make it happen. Put in the time, get to work, make the money, save it up. And these rigs really aren't that difficult to build. Yeah, there's plenty of resources online to learn, and just don't think it's impossible. It starts out as a pipe dream, but all great things do. Yeah guys, so like I said, this is a 2010 FJ Cruiser. Toyota did an awesome job with this rig. Actually, fun fact that I didn't find out until after I bought the FJ, My grandfather actually owned an original FJ back in the day, and there's a picture of that floating around somewhere in my family, and it's just a pretty incredible thought of how it played out. They brought these back in 2007 as a tribute to the original FJ, which is a competitor for the Jeep and World War II and all that stuff. It was kind of that off-road utility vehicle, and it was really cool of Toyota to bring this out. They have the 4Runners and the Tacomas and whatnot, and to bring the FJ back was a pretty cool move by them. They only made them from 2007 to 2014, and I've been watching them for years, and when I got rid of my bus, this kind of just fell into my lap, and I'm super happy it did. It's an incredible vehicle. I've taken it, like I said, 46 states, and I've never had major issues with it. Blown a couple ball joints, done this and that, but in terms of how hard I drive this thing, I'm fortunate for how minimal of fixes that I need to do. And yeah, I couldn't ask for a more reliable vehicle. It's got a 4.0 liter V6 inside, which is a great engine. It's no Ferrari. You're not gonna take this thing to the racetrack, but you go on the trails, you got a rear differential lock, you have A-track, you have four-wheel drive, obviously, and you can take these things practically anywhere, the beach, the mountains, anywhere you want to drive this will take you. I've taken this thing on four-wheeling trails where I've peeked out these trails and people come across in quads and they're like, how did you get here? And all I can do is thank the FJ for that. So you guys might not be able to see in the daylight here, but I did quite a bit of off-road aftermarket lighting on here. Originally the FJ had these fenders in here that I took off and added lights that are more or less on a 45 degree from the FJ. What that does is when I have my headlights on, the beam of light comes out to about here. Having those there, it extends it at least 30 degrees on both sides, which is pretty awesome, and it opens it up so that, say, a deer is coming out of the woods, I get that split second can make all the difference, and it'll shine into the woods. It could show me an animal crossing the road, whatever it is. And they're also at a nice point where you're not going to be blinding people. So as you can see up top, I have the light bar, which has a curve to it. So when I turn that thing on, I could see everything I could possibly ever need to see at night, which is great. But obviously when I'm driving in traffic, I'm not going to have that on. But these lights are low enough and out of the way where you're not going to distract other drivers and put anyone else in danger. As well, I have a 150 decibel air horn that I just installed, which is great. If you put one of these things in, use it respectfully. I mainly use it for wildlife. It allows you to warn animals who are maybe off in the distance. You see a deer on the road, there's obviously the expression deer in the headlights. That air horn will get a deer out of the road, I can promise you that, more so than the headlights will. And it's definitely a great thing to protect animals and protect yourself. Yeah guys, so that's the front. Let's head around the side and we could check out the closet area. Alright, so let's hop in here and check out the driver's side and the closet area. What's really nice about this FJ, it's like it's meant to be lived in. These suicide doors are incredible. I've had some other ideas that I might do in future builds, because I'm already thinking about the next build, of how to utilize this open space. I mean, that's 4 or 5 feet where you can do pretty cool pull-out ideas, whatever you want to do. Drawers coming out this way. In this build, I didn't feel like getting that fancy and intricate and what I needed. I had trouble filling this amount of space as is. Don't own many things, and I'm pretty happy with this came out. But anyways, let's dive into the closet. First and foremost, I want to thank my buddy Drew. He lives in his Jeep Wrangler, and he's an awesome photographer. He inspired me to do this closet build. I met him out on the road when I was traveling with my basic, like I said, no vertical elements build before, and he has this awesome closet build, pull out everything, all these things that his build inspired me a lot. And you can go check him out, Drew Sims, S-I-M-M-S. Awesome photographer, great guy, and I just want to say thank you, Drew, for the inspiration. And let's dive into the closet. So up top here, we got the bookshelf. That was something that I'm an avid reader, and I was pretty adamant about building a bookshelf into my rig, whatever it is. And when you think FJ Cruiser bookshelf, they don't really click together. So it took me some time and thought to figure out how to fit this in, but it worked out pretty great about the ceiling clearance that I had. To be able to fit the Jackery and the books on top of it in one seamless design was pretty awesome how it came out. Got miscellaneous storage down here, toiletries, binoculars, drone, power bank, whatever you may need. So up top here we have actually local deer antler from the Adirondacks, which is pretty incredible. It gives me a piece of the Adirondacks to carry around with me everywhere. When I know that this rig's gonna go all over the country, hopefully all over the world. And I'm pretty happy that I'll always have a piece of the Adirondacks with me. And it also acts as a pretty awesome hat rack. I'm an avid hat wearer, so that comes in handy. Up top, an idea that I had was originally I was just gonna put a face cap on top here of the closet area, but then I realized that's kind of a waste of space. So I came up with this idea to, actually Dale came up with this idea to intertwine paracord on the upper area here, and it allows us to toss in hammocks, to toss in, what even else is up here, a camera, and just miscellaneous things, and at the same time giving us hooks for if we ever need to hang any sort of clothing, lights, headlamps, whatever it is. Just hook a carabiner on there and it can hold miscellaneous stuff, and it came out great. Over on the side here, behind the closet and next to the cooler area, between the kitchen and the wall of the vehicle, is enough room to fit a guitar around the cross stick. It's where the solar panels are, to give you a bit of a reference. Some more hats and just some miscellaneous stuff, just the big objects that you want to tuck out of the way. They slide right back in there real nice and fit great. Right here is my water storage. 7 gallons is plenty. For me, I have another 7 gallon as well for when I'm traveling with someone else, or traveling long distance, or just traveling way off the grid where I think extra water might need to be a possibility. So this here is 7 gallons. Another one would obviously make 14, and that's always been plenty of water. You come across national parks, drive through towns, whatever it is, there's always water. But 7 gallons and a simple gravity fed system. Let's just pour it out here and you're set. So now that we've wrapped up the build, I'm pretty excited. I'm actually gonna be hitting the road tomorrow and doing another trip out west. I'm gonna be hitting Yellowstone, the Tetons, Colorado, and just doing a quick trip. And that's gonna be awesome to really see this rig in action. And I've been dreaming about this rebuild for a while now, and it hasn't really hit me yet. We're gonna get out west and gonna hit the mountains, and one morning I'll wake up in the rig and just look around, and it's just gonna hit me that the rig that I've been dreaming about for a while is officially done. And I can't wait for that moment. Especially can't wait to see this thing up against the Tetons and the different ranges of the West, and pretty excited to see where this thing takes me in the future. All right, so that's the tour. It's a pretty small, in terms of tiny house, it definitely emphasizes the tiny. It's a nice tiny space that allows me to carry with me everything that I need, and I love that idea that everything I own is always within 10 feet of me, and this FJ is the perfect rig for that. Thanks for checking it out, and hopefully I'll see you out on the road sometime.
That might be one of my favorite build outs that I've ever been a part of, and honestly it is so cool just because Luke has been a good friend of mine for the last few years, and now I get to go see him enjoy this rig and drive all over the country. It's gonna be super exciting to see where he ends up next. But overall, I just wanna say thank you for watching, thanks for checking out Luke's FJ, and in the next video we're gonna be getting back to the bus build.